This will be a quick overview on what you need to do to use the Bosch Bi-Xenon AFS brackets on the BMW E70 conversion. We've had a few customers purchase these brackets and they're just quite unsure about exactly what's needed to be done to kind of optimize and dial in the perfect alignment while working on the E70 conversion. Now, if you want to know about the kind of the quirks of the E70, watch the other video. I'll link it down below. But essentially, a lot of applications are using this same internal and this same frame, but for some reason on the E70, the way that it's set up, the way that the lamp is designed, the way that there's kind of play in the assembly, essentially this kind of tweaks and rotates the output, and it's much more pronounced on the G5-BRT or any aftermarket clear lens projector, whether it's HID or LED, because of the sharp and crispy cutoff line. All right. We found an easy way to kind of demonstrate how this needs to be done. This is the stock bracket unmodified. These are the lower holes and these are the upper holes of where it mounts. You do not need to modify anything for the posts where the projector mounts to this bracket. Okay, all the modifications are done on the projector. So you can see the lower fin's been removed, the side pegs have been chopped off, and there's probably some other modifications. I'll flip that around a little bit to see what needs to be done. And there's some frame clearing for the black plastic frame. But this is about the rotation, okay? We found that if you use a 5/16 for the bottom holes, it's gonna open it up all the way to the edge there essentially, and a 1/4 inch for the top holes, all right? And you essentially rotate the bracket. I'm gonna step back a little bit, try to zoom in. You can see how the whole thing, this is the right-hand side, so passenger side, is rotated, and it's rotated counterclockwise. Visually, it will look crooked when you're testing on the bracket, on the frame, but when you put it in the vehicle, it'll actually be level and straight. It's very strange. You almost have to build something wrong to have the outcome come out correctly, but that's essentially what we're doing here. So you're gonna have a ton of play. You crank it counterclockwise and you tighten it. That's essentially all it comes down to, and you'll be left with results that are like this. You see the whole back frame kind of tilted counterclockwise. You can watch the other video on what needs to be done, but check out the clearances needed for the projector and the frame. So you chop the sides of the projector right down to the rivets, but you still leave a little meat on those rivets so holds the front lens holder on. Same thing on the other side. And you can tell it looks rotated in here, and that's because it is. You know, the top has more play because it's not fully fastened. It's essentially just on a swivel. The bottom is kind of hard mounted, and that's essentially where this whole thing kind of gets really mounted down and stabilized. But hopefully this is a good overview on the ones that are considering doing the E70 conversion with our brackets. You'll be faced with this, using any kind of projector. You can use the Bi-LED, the HID, the Bi-Xenon. So if you have any questions, leave a comment below, but this is as close as we can get to a how-to on this model in terms of how to make it straight, essentially. But we look forward to your comments. Thanks again.